is in the way, Grumpjaw can't eat the other carries because Finn can't get eaten. He can't get stunned, right? So that's actually a really smart pick by Gankstars here.
All right, and in terms of what they're going to supplement that with, probably their jungle pick. What do you think would be likely here, guys?
Blackfeather or a Kroll, I think, could be very strong here.
Kestrel, probably, potentially, I would say, because it's pretty strong with Adagio, with the Finn front line.
Could be. I don't think it's going to be a Kestrel from Gankstars. Even though that is a pick that I love seeing Xenotech on, I think it's one of his strongest picks. I don't know if it's fit for this particular situation. Could also be an alpha. We've seen Xenotech have a lot of success on that hero as well.
5 seconds. It's going to be a Blackfeather.
Oh, a BF. Okay.
All right, Bacon. You're right on that one. Solid call out. Immortals now have a chance for their final pick, though. They've already got, a strong front line, either in the captain or the jungle position. They've got a very heavy source of damage in that Gwen. Maybe some more utility coming out from their jungler/captain here?
Could be. I'm interested to see what Suijay thinks that this team should pick up here.
I think Koshko might be the best option here with a BF, Adagio. You can kind of snowball with the early game aggression coming out. Like Gwen and Koshko are just so strong together early game, so that's something they can opt for. I mean, other options they have is, they can CP the Grumpjaw and pick a support. And, that could be an option too.
That's
so
what
Fortress may work.
It's going to be the Koshka. All right, so the more aggressive-oriented option coming out from Immortals. I do like this. This is definitely a composition that is very much like feast or famine in terms of success. But
you find Gentleman up there on the analyst desk, and Jackson just hosting it up here like a boss. But we are into our second series for North America, and I'm pretty hyped on this one right here. I've been waiting for Immortals to really just come alive. Historically, this roster right here is one of the most talented that we've actually ever seen. They haven't found success yet this season, really, but, at any point, I feel like they could flip a switch.
Yeah, definitely. But I think we also have to remember that looking at this roster, this is always a team that's not performed so well in these offline events, but they always just bring it into the championships, at the live events. They always do really, really well, much better than you would think if you just looked at their offline events. So I have a feeling it's kind of like this, but to get into the championships, you have to be good at these offline events. And like you said, we've just not really been seeing that in the past few weeks.
Well, right now it's going to be Immortals. Go and get that Elder Treant down there, doing a very good job securing that up. Gankstars really not looking to force anything early on here. I did really like with the Blackfeather that came out in this composition. I think it's going to have a lot of strengths, but Araki getting jumped on. Araki, can he get himself out of here? No, he can't. First blood for Immortals.
First blood, there they go. Well, we've got that Koshka there. You want to be seeing that aggressive lane pressure coming out, right? Can't really do too much. He's very slow, have the polite company, and it's difficult to land that quibble. I think we saw that in the game between TSM and Rogue. I think the analyst desk touched upon this, was that they really have to have good target focus. If you think about it, Xenotech with his Rose offensive, and then you've got the Finn as well, who's immune to a lot of damage. They really just have to go onto Iraqi Zoro every single time.
Well, if Araki does not see it coming, kind of like in that situation, he's going to get blown up, but we'll see if Gankstars can maybe get some vision down, play a little more carefully, and I believe they can do so. Right now, though, it's going to be Araki just going ahead farming up this lane. Aloha with the Twirly Death, he's trying to get those attacks juiced up before he moves, trying to find a target so he can go ahead and get another Twirly Death and have full efficiency in this fight here. Xenotech is on to Zeo, but they flip the script here as they jump right back on. Rekt taking the most damage. It's probably not the target they wanted, and a full disengage from both sides.
It's nice use of the minion candies there coming out from Rekt. It just forced the Immortals to back away, because I think if they kept pushing on that fight, they would have probably picked up at least 1 or 2 kills there, but using the minion candy, they had to back away. Aloha lost a lot of health in that little skirmish there. So we're not really seeing too many deaths being picked up. Both teams know exactly when to disengage and when to engage in these fights. I think what is worrying me is just going back to that Iraqi Zoro point. They really do have to try and get everything that they can onto Iraqi Zoro. The stuff, the mechanic frenzy, the ace is high. There's so much that we're throwing at Iraqi Zoro. However, the way I'm seeing this playing out is that Iraqi Zoro is going to be taking that back line position for this particular style of carry Adagio. And we should be seeing Xenotech and Rekt just being right up in their faces. So what we need is those early Atlas Pauldrons coming out.
And the thing is, like, also in that last engagement, Rekt was sitting on like 30% health, 40% health, and I think that was also like a distraction, right? Like they saw this low health target and they just switched over, and they're really going to need to focus up here all be applying damage onto one target. Go ahead and take him out here. Both teams currently sitting up in the lane.
That's what they need to do, because I think Gankstars know that they're just going for Rakizora every single time, and they just need a full set. All 3 team members there just prevent that from happening. I think if you look at the pressure as well, that could potentially come from the Koshka, they could get a lot of damage down onto the turret very early on, which is why they're being forced to put so much into defense there. But this is that risk of Xenotech losing a lot of gold and XP, and just falling a little bit behind if you look at Aloha, who's at level 5.
A little bit behind, and we'll see if they can go ahead and shore that up here. Wrecked with the polite company, gets a heal out of Irakizora. They're just trying to hold their own here. Now, Xenotech tried to steal away his own mid from Immortals on that invade. Did fail. That's still there, so it's going to be Immortals going to get that. They're going to drop down to the shop here. Fountain picked up for Veins, so they will have that advantage if there's any skirmish here in the next minute or so.
Yeah, Rekt has enough gold. I think that's what he's going to be going back to get. And this is actually a really good time for Immortals to be going onto Arakizora. That's going to miss.
Did he?
I don't know if Araki...
he shot Rekt. I'm pretty sure that shot went all the way back to the healing platform there.
It did.
OP, Zio, man.
Very OP.
You're never safe.
No, never safe, exactly. That was a good thing that was such a big wave there for Immortals, because I think the minion candy there, they were certainly expecting to get some damage there onto that turret. Oh, 282 there onto Xenotech.
Now, this is the second minion candy we've seen of the game. The first one came out of Gankstars with their first lane push, and they want to go so they could back to go ahead and shop. Immortals going ahead and getting their own minion candy out, just buying a little time for them to take away the mid, maybe the fronts, and rotate back up here. Naraki does clear out that wave pretty quickly, so Zio might miss one, I think, CS here. Not too much.
Listen, I just don't really see much happening until we do get to the late game where everybody does those ultimates. And I think Aloha, now that he's reached level 6 and has that Yummy Cat and Frenzy, it's a really good time for him to be going in, just trying to get onto Rakizor, or at least force that reflex block that he has.
He's on the top side. I don't think they saw him here. On Xenotech, he's up there getting damage onto Zio. They're waiting. Yummy kind of frenzy in. They're onto Arakizora. Arakizora's getting shot down. He out of the fountain. He comes out. He stays alive. Aloha's trying to hit it, but they flip it, and it's Zio who's actually dead. Aloha! He'd run it away, but Rex wants some. Oh, can't get the quibble. Oh man, buff quibble so Rex can find a kill there. Aloha's gonna be able to jump in. Pouncy fun. Now, look at that. He's abusing that move speed from the Koshka. Xenotech, he finds target, finds the kill though. And that's going to be Xenotech picking up 2 kills here early on.
It was a good distraction. Koshka's able to run them in circles.
Oh, I love it. I love the sneaky little plays.
Oh, it's all about being sneaky in this game. Well, it's still very close between the two teams. It actually feels like Gankstars are doing a little bit better. But still very close. Get the gold, absolutely identical. Not really much damage on either of the turrets. I'll say there's a teensy-weensy bit off Gankstars, but that is not significant at all. We're just really waiting for the ultimates to be used, or just pick that time to go for the team fights. It was actually a really good Yummy Catnip Frenzy onto Rakizor. He just did not see it coming. The reflex block just came out too late. And I think once Veins does get his stuffed, then they can just really chain that. We just need to rely on Rekt to body block everything that they can.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty gnarly. If he can land that onto one of these key targets, it's going to be very good for them. I'm just curious, though, I mean, for Gankstars, are they just going to sit kind of on the back foot, just constantly let Immortals come to them? You know, at what point do they kind of move forward and look to make something happen?
I think there's a little bit of balance. You're waiting for the Koshka to fall off in terms of her power, and you're also waiting for Xenotech just to reach his power specs, just to get that. Maybe the breaking point. It looks like he could be going for a breaking point, or even that bone saw. But once he gets his 2 or 3 offensive items, then I think that's when Gankstars could maybe take more of an offensive position and start just moving forward a little bit, applying a little bit more pressure. Right now, we're not seeing too much coming out from them. They're just trying to play defensively as much as possible. So I think this is pretty much how the majority of the game is going to play out. It's all about those careful team fights rather than just lots of pressure, picking up the objectives as much as possible.
Well, Xenotech does have a weapon infusion right now. If they get into a fight here, he's going to be buffed up pretty nicely. This is actually infusion in Aloha's inventory as well. I was also looking at Xenotech stacking up the shield there. So he's really just kind of itemizing against this Koshka. As long as he doesn't get burst down, he should do pretty well.
I think so. Koshka's gonna be, he's gonna be in the front line. It's gonna be very easy for Koshka just to be back onto Xenotech and then just jump to Iraqi Zoro that way. So him having the shield makes a lot of sense. It would be quite good for him to see maybe him upgrading it to kinetic shield or even the Aegis. Oh, they're going in.
Uh-oh, they want to fight down here, but Crystal Sentry is defeated. This is going to be the stuff back up, but Iraqi Zoro taking pretty good damage, trying to reposition himself. Aloha waiting for his cooldowns, jumps back in. Zio is the first to fall. Now Immortals on the run. That's going to be a forced score, just pulling Vayne's back a little bit there. But Vayne's will be going down, right? Yeah. Slowly but surely, and a double kill now 4-0 for Xenotech as he popped that weapon infusion during that fight and just absolutely immense damage.
I really like that coming from Gankstars. So we saw Immortals, they were the ones that were very offensive, just going to the jungle of Gankstars. And then what we saw was Gankstars saying, okay, they're right next to the Crystal Sentry. This is a great, oh, aloha!
Aloha, my man. Just got smoked.
Never mind, never mind. Oh dear.
Well, 5-1.
Okay.
5-1 for Gankstars. This team house paying dividends for them.
I think you could say that for TSM. I think both of those teams, these teams with the team houses, have just really upped their game. I think TSM, I mean, they've always been pretty much top, but Gankstars, there's been definite improvements since they moved into the team house. And it's absolutely incredible. I hope to see that a lot of the other teams will be following suit after this. But
I think we need real analysis on this data, though. I think these guys need to drop the team house for like a month or something. We'll see if it is actually the team house working for them or not. But
we can just say it's the team house effect.
Yeah.
That's
for now.
Making them for now. Well, Xenotech, I like the Shiver Seal that he's picked up. A really good slow there, especially going into DNCO. I would so.
Oh, they put the gold miner back and they get it. Xeno's able to grab that. They did Crucible. You're not Crucible there. It's gonna be stuffed up Veins. He's trying to get backwards there, and it was Xenotech who he grabbed, but Zio chopped down before they can get anything done. Well, Xenotech, he wants Veins. He's gonna Rose offensive forward on point and get wrecked, son. No, I'm just kidding. I absolutely love you, Veins, but we leaned into that one, didn't we, Shingy?
We did. I have a slight issue with the Grump Jaw. Just hear me out, Humanist. It's a slight issue here. So every time he's using his stuff, he's picking up Xenotech, which leaves the Iraqi Zoro nice and open. Unfortunately, they're not able to burst him down in time, which is what they should be doing if they're sorry, if they're eating Xenotech. Sorry.
Yes.
I can't.
You're being very careful with your words, and I think everybody appreciates
I'm trying
that.
to. You told me off for this because I didn't realize what I said. So
we had the mind games, phrasing.
Where is
okay.
It's it's all about.
Yes, I agree. So the point is, though, you're trying to say, how do you say this properly? When you ultimate onto Xenotech as Grumjaw, probably not always the best target. Is that what we're going for here?
Well, if they're going to ultimate onto Xenotech, you want to be able to burst down Iraqi Zoro. You need to be able to burst him down. Whereas what we're seeing is they're not really getting that much damage onto Iraqi Zoro because he's in the back line, he's all safe, and then Xenotech comes out and he's like right in the middle of all three members of Immortals, and that's not a good position for Immortals to be in. If you're going to be like that, then just ultimate Iraqi Zoro instead.
Valid point, Shingy. I love the analysis there, and I will agree with you on this one. Let's see if Immortals can, make this happen. If Veins does go for Xenotech again, maybe there's something we're not seeing here as far as the strategy that they're trying to put together. Immortals on the top left side of this mustache brush. They're in a powerful position as far as defending the movement from Gankstars back up. You can see Immortals actually very scared. Now they're on the retreat.
Oh, they're going.
Skedaddle pack. Zio's taking a lot of damage. The Atlas Pauldron even landed. Xenotech over the top side. Just slaps Zio into the dirt. Aloha can only use his move speed to run away. The Veins hangs out in the lane. It's pretty disastrous at the moment for Immortals.
It's pretty disastrous. I think part of the issue is, if we're looking at it, is that there's a lot of potential for chains there. We've got the Aces High, you got Mechanic Frenzy, the Stuffed. Right now, I'm kind of seeing them being used very disjointedly. It's not working. They're not taking advantage of everything that they have. And the Gankstars, just look how fast that turret is going down. And actually how fast Immortals is going down as well.
Oh, can they get Xenotech? He's very low. They did get him. They got him, Shingy. And that cripple's going to land here, stunned up. Zio trying to find the damage on Iraqi. Stands his ground. It's not enough. Veins can't move. Triple kill for Iraqi Zoro. My man.
Well, that's nice. 13 minutes is living into 6k ahead in gold. And composition just really means a lot. I feel like there is a lot of potential there with Immortals composition there, but we're just not seeing it used to its full effect. I'm not sure if that's just because we're not seeing Grumpjaw very much in competitive play. I think the analysts did say, well, he's a lot stronger now with the buffs from the recent update, but I feel like a lot of the teams really haven't got a handle on how he can be used to synergize with the other heroes, which is... Maybe they should just put the Grumpjaw on hold for a little bit.
I mean, to be fair, though, and this is without firing shots at Immortals, these are just facts. You look at the overall point standings, Immortals is sitting pretty low, you know, below the leaders in the overall point standings. And
well, they're number 5 right now.
yeah, but that doesn't, like, what is that? They're like 12 points below the next person. It's like a cliff that they fall off in the points. And this goes back to, it's not like they've been playing Grumpjaw every game or something and they can't make it work. Many compositions they've been failing on, and so I was just trying to say, I don't think it speaks so much to the weakness necessarily of Grumpjaw.
I just feel like, yeah, you're absolutely right. We can't pin everything down on the Grumpjaw, but at least I feel like they could at least pick something that had a bit more, something they were a bit more comfortable with. But that's just my opinion. It's not really working. We've seen the war trends coming in.
They are on target right here. Zio just chopped down again. It's gonna be Vanes trying to ult a target and just get out of here. Xenotech finds the kill onto Aloha, and it's gonna be Vanes falling very shortly here. Yeah, can't get out of that one. Double kill, 14-2, 15 minutes in, and it looks like Gankstars want to just move in and end this one out.
Yeah, very quick, easy game. What I find really interesting in that one was the positioning coming out from Gankstars. Really, really beautiful positioning coming out from them. And we saw Immortals, they looked like they're going to engage on it. All three of them would jump onto Gankstars, but Gankstars, they just clumped together. Immortals could not target, and the main thing about Immortals is that they need to be able to pick their targets. And if all three of them are standing on top of each other, they don't know who to target, and that just completely